Ever since The Last Jedi, I've had this very video just gestating in my head, analyzing The Last Jedi, analyzing the original trilogy, and now with episode 9 on the horizon, I wanted to finally address what some are calling a betrayal of the character of Luke Skywalker. No, excuse me, Jake Skywalker, according to Mark Hamill.
So I almost had to think of Luke as another character. Maybe he's Jake Skywalker. He's not my Luke Skywalker.
Let's start with The Force Awakens. What was the main crux of Kylo Ren's character in The Force Awakens?
Forgive me, I feel it again. The pull to the light.
If the character of Luke could feel his father's conflict when Vader, other than not killing Luke, didn't show any outward signs of internal conflict to Luke prior to their confrontation on Bespin, why would the character not sense the same conflict in Kylo when Kylo is struggling with the light after his fall to the dark side, after Luke's moment of weakness? Could it be argued that Luke wasn't open to it with Kylo because he also wasn't open to it with Vader until their confrontation on Bespin, until Luke and Vader made that connection?
Luke.
Father.
Son, come with me.
Could that be argued? Sure. The only thing is, once that connection in the Force was established between the two, Luke could feel it. Luke in The Last Jedi should not only have that connection with Ben at the time, being his nephew, but because while he was over Ben in his sleep, he's reaching out into his mind. Could it be argued that Luke is being just like Obi-Wan, who couldn't sense that his Padawan, his friend, his brother Anakin was still in there, that there was still good in him, but as he says,
There is still good in him.
He's more machine now than man, twisted and evil.
yes, that point can be argued. Here's the issue. This just further shows Luke's connection with his family. Obi-Wan and Yoda couldn't sense it because they don't have the same connection that Luke and Anakin do. Luke is all optimism and hope. Now, you may argue people become weary and jaded as they grow older. That's true. That's very true. However, optimism is one of Luke's foundational characteristics. The very fact that he wants to save Vader, that's who the character is. The other foundational characteristic that I just touched upon was how familial Luke Skywalker is. And this may be the biggest discrepancy between the character that we see in The Last Jedi and the established character of Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy. That the character would try, or at least even get the notion, to kill his nephew, even if he sees only darkness. Think about it. Luke has always been familial. He has always been about family. His father, Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru, they're the main two reasons why he didn't leave the moisture farm until their deaths. Had they not died, he would not have left. He hated it on Tatooine, but he stayed because of his connection to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, because of his familial tie to him. Leia, his sister. Han is his best friend. Why would he ever get the notion to not only kill his nephew, but the son of his sister and the son of his best friend? Given his character in the original trilogy, no matter how old he got, no matter how world weary he got, because that's a foundational characteristic, his optimism and his familial ties, would that not be his overriding parameter when seeing darkness in his nephew and trying to rescue him as he did his father, trying to save him as he did his father? Because remember, it worked. He did save his father. So once again, would not his overriding characteristic be to save his nephew? Now, if he tried to save him and failed, fine. I thought that I could train him as well as Obi-Wan trained me, and I was wrong. Given his talk of hubris in The Last Jedi and buying into his own hero status, this added dynamic in the story would have even further exemplified how he could have even thought, how he could have even had the audacity to think that he can save his nephew and miserably fail. But Marcus, it was only a fleeting thought. He didn't act on it, and he was immediately ashamed. One, it could be argued that he tried because he ignited the lightsaber. But more importantly, I go to this.
There is still good in him.
He's more machine now than man, twisted and evil.
I can't do it, Ben. I can't kill my own father.
That decision is based off of family, which makes it mind-boggling that the character would even have the slightest temptation to come to the conclusion to kill his nephew.
I can't kill my own father.
And neither would you have the notion to kill your own nephew. The crazy thing is, you wouldn't have to tweak The Last Jedi all that much. Have Luke there, reach into Kylo's mind. He sees the darkness, but he's telling this to Rey. He sees the darkness, but he believes, no, I saved my father, I can save my nephew too. So he continues to train him, ignoring the signs, ignoring all warnings that the Force and that Ben himself has given him. Ben falls, he has the Knights of Ren, he destroys all the rest of the Padawans, and destroys the Jedi Temple. And Luke exiles himself, 1, because of his failure, and 2, he stays exiled, not because he's despondent, not because he believes he needs to take himself out of the galaxy, but because he knows if he puts himself in the conflict, he'll have to be the one to kill his nephew, and that is something he refuses to do. That, or at least something similar to that, taking into account his character in the original trilogy, that would be an older Luke Skywalker in this new sequel era. Look, at the end of the day, what we got is what we got. The character of Luke Skywalker that's in The Last Jedi is not the same character that was in Star Wars, Empire, and Return of the Jedi. A story is only the way it is because of who characters are. Their characteristics, who they are, drives their motivations, and their motivations drives the story forward. Alter the story to fit the character, not the character to fit the story. So therefore, congruent character progression can take place. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you did, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're so inclined. Check out my channel for all my other content that I have on there, my short film yin and yang, reactions, breakdowns, all that good stuff, and much, much more to come. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.